right, man. So after watching the Ironheart trailer, everybody told me to check out this neurotic video he put out. By the way, happy Friday. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, drop that sub, turn on them notices. Go check out Neurotic, man. But let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Let's see what they talking about.
It's always difficult to call out your friends, but, you know, I think it has to be done in this case because I don't know why everybody's being so hard on the Ironheart trailer. Admittedly, it's a little longer than I thought it would be and a little more spicy, but maybe it's going on Hulu. I think it was a bold choice to race swap Riri Williams to an Asian woman. I found it to be an extensive, deep, and exploratory character study of... Oh, 1 second. Sorry. Yeah.
That's the wrong Ironheart?
What?
Yes, the Japanese porno.
Ironheart will be a series for Disney Plus about genius inventor Riri Williams, who has the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man's. Dominique Thorne will play the title role. And as we like to do, both Secret Invasion and Ironheart will tie directly to MCU feature films.
5 years later.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius. So, you in or out? Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
I want to build something undeniable. Something...
important?
Iconic.
It's a brand new... Oh, bro.
Erotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million aliens and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. There is a handful of characters that personify everything wrong with Marvel Comics and now Marvel Studios, including but not limited to Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel, no, not Miss Marvel from the comics, Captain Marvel, Sana Amanat's self-insert Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel, and Riri Williams as Ironheart. All three are derivative characters of a male hero, some are derivatives of derivatives. All three were developed for the comics solely based on their identity to push inclusivity, and that's the exact same reason they were rushed into the MCU. In the comics, all three have been repeatedly pushed on a fan base that absolutely rejects them, leading to all three of them being featured in multiple canceled comics, which in turn was the spark that led to the beginning of the decline that continues to this very day for Marvel Comics. Coincidentally, with just two of those three characters, Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, the same thing is happening to Marvel Studios. And now it looks like Kevin Feige is determined to repeat all of the mistakes of the comic books and lead to the same failures by finally releasing Ironheart. So that's right, in the year of our Lord 2020, on December 10th, Kevin Feige announced there was going to be an Ironheart series. Admittedly,
crazy.
These were the days that Marvel thought they could do no wrong. The series was rushed into development, and she made her first iconic appearance in Wakanda Forever.
Get out of my dorm. Get out. Do not take another step toward me.
See how they teach the children to...
See, I haven't watched Wakanda yet.
I am going to give you two options. You can come to Wakanda, conscious or unconscious.
You need to be conscious of the way that you look. Walking around here with that ash on your head.
Oh, it's funny.
No.
Then, upon the completion of production on Ironheart 3 years ago, Kevin Feige actually watched it, and thanks to the worst time strikes in history, he was able to kick that can as far down the road as he could. Don't believe me? Well, aside from the fact that this show has again been on the shelf for 3 years, Ironheart has already broken what I believe will be a lot of unfortunate records. The first trailer for Ironheart broke the record for the shortest amount of time between any live-action MCU project's first trailer and its release. The previous record holder, Daredevil Born Again. How did that turn out? Now, the word on the street is that if Disney Marvel had its way, just like with Echo, they wouldn't release this, but they have to, so the best thing to do would be to either dump it all at once or delay it as much as possible. And now that we've seen some behind-the-scenes footage and the trailer, we know why. There is two schools of thought here. The big brains at Marvel either decided to release the Ironheart trailer just hours before James Gunn's Superman to compete with it, or to bury it. I report, you decide. Either way, neither of them worked. And this may be another reason they delayed the footage until the last possible minute, because it looks like it's heading towards an iconic ratio. But I tell you, there's no happier guy.
And you know what's crazy? I actually saw something that said the dislikes are over 300,000 now. That's a lot of dislikes.
On Earth that Ironheart got delayed so long it came out after Sinners, which I liked, than executive producer Ryan Coogler.
I got into Marvel as a kid, going to comic book shops. I was really big on X-Men and all of the offshoots, like X-Factor and Wolverine. When Ironheart came out, I remember the buzz around the industry.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Okay, first off, why in the hell would you show this cover? It's one of the worst in comic book history. It's like somebody cut a girl in half and put 2 deer legs on the bottom.
Why she have a giraffe
if by buzz, you mean the 45th best-selling comic the month Ironheart came out, which sold 40,000 copies, which admittedly comic shops would kill for those kind of numbers, but the reason we don't get numbers like that anymore is because you kept releasing comics like Ironheart. And in 2019, when the Ironheart Volume 1 trade paperback Those with Courage was released, it was the 328th best-selling book of the year, selling a whopping 2,640 copies to comic shops.
Jeez.
And not too long after that, things got so bad in the comic book industry, they stopped reporting sales. Sounds like the perfect thing to adapt and rush into production while spending hundreds of millions of dollars only to sit on it for 3 years. Now, after spending a decade in the comics and half a decade in the movies, taking legacy characters and replacing them with diverse characters because you could just pass the mantle, and just a few months after Sam Wilson officially took over the mantle of Captain America that completely failed, this time they want you to know they're not passing the mantle.
A lot of people think that she's a successor to the Iron Man legacy. But in the comic book, Riri and Tony had a friendship. He was kind of advising her.
Hold up. Wait a minute. That ain't right.
Except she wasn't really advised by Tony Stark because the comic they were showing right there was an AI version because he was dead.
And eventually, she got her own identity as Ironheart.
The story of Ironheart is not a story about the mantle of Iron Man getting passed. If anything, it's the opposite.
It's really about her proving herself and achieving her own legacy.
Creating your own legacy by stealing everything the legacy character established, including his own book. And never mind the fact that although it was never going to succeed, that was the intention, and there were articles written about Riri Williams being the next Iron Man, but it's not about passing the mantle. And as far as the trailer is concerned, it actually gets worse. Keeping in mind that a trailer is just a commercial for, in this case, your TV show, which is designed to captivate potential viewers by highlighting the story's most exciting elements, characters, and visuals in a brief, compelling format without giving away too much of the plot. That's why I thought it was an interesting creative choice spending the first minute of this 1 minute and 44-second trailer having Riri Williams walk into a building and escape from an elevator. And Coogler, you're an executive producer. Now, I understand the connection to Wakanda Forever, but you couldn't have Marvel add Creed, Sinners, or I don't know, the first Black Panther? Anyway, we finally learned something about the character.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius. Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
And right off the bat, we get the staples of modern intersectional feminist Hollywood writing. We are told she is great through constant affirmations from other characters, but never shown. And she's being kept down by the patriarchy or the system, or both. And she deserves her acknowledgement, despite the fact that she's already going to MIT.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
Man, I'm glad they told us she was a genius again, and she just recently got back from an internship abroad at the isolationist ethno-state of Wakanda.
How come you're not working at one of those fancy tech firms?
After my internship abroad, I want to build something undeniable, something
important,
iconic.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Maybe it's opposite day. If by iconic you mean making something unrecognizable and forgettable, sure. But at least they found something new, because this black female genius in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is totally different from the other black female genius in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Shuri. Man, I hope we hear the word iconic again.
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
Well, Hollywood would know a thing or two about that. Anywho, the rest of the trailer is a bunch of gobbledygook featuring that awful costume and the villain, the Hood, who is from the comics, who's had some connections to Dormammu, but the rumor is in this he'll be connected to Mephisto, which is too stupid to be true to waste a great villain like Mephisto
Those are
in
good
a show
villains.
like this. But considering this comes from the same company who decided to lead with the female Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four, it makes it believable. Oh, and just in case you didn't notice, it has hip-hop music in it because this is a show about black people. And you know that decision came from a boardroom full of woke white people with non-binary kids who don't live anywhere near black people. And the trailer ends with introducing us to
Yo, I gotta say, the stereotypes be so crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, they make a black show, bro. They think they gotta put rap in it to attract us to the show. It's so crazy. It's like, put hip hop in there, Bob. They're definitely gonna come. They're definitely gonna come. It's crazy. The stereotypes is it's bad, man. It's bad, and they gotta cut that out, man. They really gotta cut that out.
Riri Williams' little buddy, fake Han Solo himself, Alden Ehrenreich.
A shady bunker.
My bunker's not shady. Would a shady bunker have that on the wall?
It's literally above a crate of self-guided missiles.
I'm returning those.
What happened to this dude? Well, I guess this is what Disney does to actors. He had a breakout role in Hail Caesar and then got the starring role in Solo. # Solo lost money. And now he's been relegated to token white guy assistant in a show by all accounts should never be released. So what did we learn about the iconic genius and insanely popular comic book character Riri Williams Ironheart? Unfortunately for Marvel Studios, this may be the most comic book accurate depiction of a character since Iron Man, because it turns out she's an ungrateful, insecure narcissist who craves acknowledgement and an unlikable brat who aspires to be undeniable and iconic, which is exactly how she is in the comics. She also doesn't need anyone to help her create her own legacy, except when she needs help from the guy she's stealing it from. Iron Man's Robert Downey Jr. gives Ironheart 2 thumbs up, and I'd bet 2 years' salary that he's never seen it and never will. And what's Marvel learn? Clearly, absolutely nothing. Like we said at the time, right after that big win with Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel went right back to their regular scheduled programming. They followed that up with Agatha, Captain America Brave New World, Daredevil Born Again, and Thunderbolts. And Ironheart is next. And the fact that they've introduced characters into the MCU like America Chavez, Ironheart, Miss Marvel, and the female Silver Surfer before the Silver Surfer is a crime against imagination. And the soft bigotry of low expectations is well on display with this character through Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios' complete unwillingness to put any time, creativity, resources, or effort to make Riri Williams a real character, because they never intended for it to go beyond the superficial. It's just a pander and for the headlines, as most of you already know. Ironheart is the very definition of didn't earn it. And you would think people at Marvel, whose business is superheroes, would know that heroes do not aspire to be iconic, villains do. But the good news is there's still an Ironheart out there we can all get behind.
Nerderotic.com.
If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. Man. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.
Thank you, Neurotic. But make sure y'all go sub to Neurotic. You know, as somebody who really doesn't know anything about Ironheart, and when we react to the trailer, I even said before the trailer, I'm like, I didn't even know this show was coming out. Like, I had no idea the show was coming out. There's been no promotion. And to find out that it's actually got announced in 2020 and now it is 2025, absolutely insane. Just throwing a show out there. You know, a lot of people, especially if like I guess I'll say I'm a casual when it comes to like Ironheart. I don't know nothing about Ironheart. I didn't even know she was an Iron Man successor. But I did see people talking on the internet saying that, you know, instead of Reed Jones or whatever her name is, they should have gave the mantle to Iron Man's daughter. And that kind of makes more sense. You know, they had that little sweet line in the end game. I love you 3000. Like, I think that makes a lot more sense to give that to that character, because there'll be emotions towards that character. This character, nobody really cares about. Nobody knows about this character. Nobody cares about this character. So I agree with people who are saying that they should have just given the mantle to Iron Man's daughter, which I think that would have been much smarter. I don't understand why these execs can't make good decisions. Like, when you have the fans making great decisions, then the execs are just, I don't know, they're filling a quota or something, man. But yeah, I agree. I think they should have given the mantle to Iron Man's daughter. I think that would have crossed over way better than this. Like I said, man, that I love you 3000 line, like, that is such a popular line now. And I remember when the movie first came out, that's all I was hearing was, I love you 3000. And I still hear it till this day, years later. So, I don't know, man. When we reacted to the trailer, you know, I said I didn't really know too much. I thought Ryan Coogler was directing it, but he's not directing it. It just said he was a producer or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Probably a show I'm gonna pass on. It looked. It didn't really, you know, a trailer is supposed to draw you into want to watch it. It didn't really draw me into want to watch it. It looks like the typical, how do you say it? The typical show that doesn't look that good. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just want to watch good superhero movies, man. Like, I don't know why it's so hard these days for us to get good TV shows and good superhero movies. It's just ridiculous, man. Everybody's trying to push these agendas. It's just so stupid, man. And I see where Marvel is going. They're trying to make it an all-female based led thing. And it's just, I don't understand why they're pushing. Like, they're just pushing it too hard, man. But, excuse me. And there's nothing wrong with females leading, by the way. I don't mind females leading. You know, I equal opportunity. I agree, but it's just like when it's getting forced into the things we love in entertainment, superhero movies, and comics, and just it's just a little too much, man. Just changing genders on characters and yada this and yada that. It's just stupid, man. It's kind of like, for a perfect example, James Bond is a white Caucasian. I love James Bond. To me, James Bond is white. And then they're trying to get, I think it was Idris Elba to play James Bond. And I love Idris Elba, I think that's how you say his name, as an actor. He's a great actor. But I grew up playing the James Bond games, watching the movies. James Bond is white. It's just all this forcedness, man. It's too much. It's too much going on. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that, man. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about the Ironheart trailer. Do you agree with what Neurotic was saying? What did we miss out? What did I miss out on? Let me know in the comments down below, okay? I will see you guys in the next, man. 100,000 subscribe time. Let's get it.